Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Sabanson, and welcome you guys to another episode of the DREAMERSPRO show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we'll give you guys a fresh perspective on things. We see them, and today we got a pretty interesting show for you guys. Before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel, and be sure to follow me on Instagram. My handle is CTABANZ. So let's get into today's topic. So yesterday, we did a live reacting to the breaking story that FS1 had fired Joy Taylor and Emmanuel Acho. Now, prior to that, Joy Taylor had made headlines because of that lawsuit involving her, Charlie Dixon, the former hairstylist. People like Skip Bayless were brought up in that lawsuit. So it was just a pretty messy time. Then she kind of disappeared from television for a week or so, and then she reemerged on Speak, and everybody thought that everything was good and well. So it was a shock to us when we found out that she was being fired, and then Emmanuel Acho as well. And then they went on to cancel a bunch of shows, right? So we knew that. But then what I later on discovered was that in the process of them canceling these shows, they also fired a lot of people. And some of these people are Paul Pierce and Keyshawn Johnson, as well as others, right? So there's an article that I want to read from today with the following headline from Front Office Sports saying, Joy Taylor out as FS1 Armageddon ends 3 shows. The network is canceling Breakfast Ball, The Facility, and Speak, with a wide variety of replacements under consideration. So this is the report that we want to get into here today. But before we even get into what this report has to say, today's video is brought to you by a sponsor, Game Time. One of the things I love the most is making unforgettable memories with family and friends. And one of the things I hate the most is overpaying for tickets only to find out that there was a better deal out there. That's one of the reasons I started using Game Time. Game Time is the easy go-to app for last-minute tickets to sports, concert, and theater events across 60+ states in the US and Canada. Game Time saves me time, money, and stress by curating only the best deals, so I'm not wasting a whole bunch of time scrolling through overpriced tickets. Game Time Picks is my favorite tool. It highlights the best value seats instantly. No more guesswork, no more wasting time. For example, I'm really looking forward to watching some of these NBA Summer League games. Here's what I like to do. I choose between the cheapest deal, the great deal, or the amazing deal. Once you select the ticket you want, you can use their panoramic seat view to ensure you know exactly what you're getting before you buy. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the app, create an account, and use code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Again, create an account and use redeem code CLNS for $20 off. And remember, whenever you support this sponsor, you're supporting this channel. Thank you. All right, so let's get into what this article has to say here. It says FS1 is making sweeping changes to its programming lineup as 3 of its 5 daily shows are getting canceled. In the shakeup, Joy Taylor's 9-year tenure with the network has come to an end. Breakfast Ball, The Facility, and Speak will be no more, leaving The Herd with Colin Cowherd and Jason McIntyre, and First Things First with Nick Wright, Chris Broussard, and Kevin Wiles as the only shows remaining in the lineup. Front Office Sports has confirmed the news was first reported by The Athletic. Now listen to this part. A Fox spokesperson declined to comment. Talents whose shows were canceled, including Craig Carton, Mark Sherlith, Danny Parkins, Emmanuel Acho, LaShawn McCoy, Chase Daniel, James Jones, Paul Pierce, Michael Irvin, Keyshawn Johnson, and Joy Taylor, and yes, of course, and Taylor. Is it possible that a couple of these talents could remain at the network as it cooks up new shows? Sources told Front Office Sports that on-air talents who could be in play for new FS1 programming includes Tony Reali, Max Kellerman, and Kay Adams. On X/Twitter, former FS1 host Jason Whitlock suggested that a TV version of All the Smoke with former NBA players Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson could be an option. Reali, the longtime host of ESPN's Canceled Around the Horn, told Front Office Sports he's interested in absolutely everything. While he plans to be discerning about the future, Reali envisions a future where he works in both the TV and digital spaces at the same time. I'm open to talking, get this, I'm open to talking to anybody and everybody at all times, said Reali, who's currently taking a long vacation with his family before weighing his next steps. So we got that, right? Now, I also want to quickly share a post from Front Office Sports, their Instagram account, because they also shared this as well yesterday, where they now specifically outline these people here. So let me show you this here. It says FS1 cancels 3 shows amid major Fox shakeup. If you go to the next slide, look at this. It says FS1 has canceled Breakfast Ball, The Facility, and Speak, leaving Joy Taylor, Emmanuel Acho, LaShawn McCoy, Paul Pierce, Michael Irvin, Keyshawn Johnson, Chase Daniels, and others out at Fox Sports. And then the final slide says sources tell Front Office Sports that on-air talents who could be in play for new FS1 shows include Tony Reale, Max Kellerman, and Kay Adams. So folks, this is the update here, right? This is the news. Now, what are my thoughts on this? I got to be frank with you. As a viewer, I'm going to speak from a viewer standpoint. Look, Dreamers Pro show is not a perfect show, right? There are a lot of things that people don't like about our show, just like there are things that people like about our show. There's no perfect show out there, right? Some of these shows that they canceled, just from my point of view as a viewer, and everybody has the right to have an opinion on what they're watching, those shows are boring. The Facility, I almost never watched it. The only time I would watch it is when they had basketball segments, and only when they had Rick Bucher on. If it was just a panel of guys, the NFL guy, I would never watch. I thought it was just boring. I didn't understand why everyone on the panel was just NFL guys talking about basketball. It just wasn't interesting to me. Breakfast Ball, I started to catch it a little bit later as well, and Speak was just boring as hell, man, with Joy, and it was just so boring. Paul tried to make it interesting from time to time, but I just thought those 2 shows particularly were very, very boring. This is just my take on things. And another thing that I noticed was, if you look at some of the hottest shows in sports media, some of them usually, or most of them usually, are able to make, like, they have moments and segments that really explode in the sports zeitgeist, right? You have ESPN, they always have clips and things that are going viral. At one point when you had Undisputed, there were always moments that were going viral. Skip said this, Shannon and Skip got into this argument. So they have that, right? So those other shows just never had those moments. You know, some of the other shows I just listed, those are shows that I was really interested to tune into, hear what they have to say. Like, I remember when Undisputed was on air. When Undisputed was on, like, I would watch it more than I would watch First Take clips, to be honest with you. I would. I just thought that it was just more interesting what they had going on there. So I'm not surprised that they canceled these shows. What I am surprised about is the volume of shows. They canceled 3. Remember, they have 5 shows. So to remove 3 is a lot, right? So they're going to have a lot of shoes to fill. And what this article says at the end, maybe that we should have highlighted it in the final paragraph. It says, while the scope of the cancellations is stunning, all 3 of these shows were struggling to attract audiences. They were all created by former FS1 boss Charlie Dixon, who exited the company in April, several months after he was named in a lawsuit from former host Julie Stewart-Binks and former network hairstylist Nasheen Faraji. Taylor was also named in Faraji's lawsuit, right? So he's gone. Right, and he's the one that came up with all of these shows. But man, Paul and these guys are out of there, and I guess we have to wait and see what happens next. So, what are your suggestions? What do you think who do you think some of the personalities are that FS1 needs to go after? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts in the comments, and we catch you on the next show. Peace.